Hello everyone, I welcome all of you for this IGBC AP Exam Preparation course. Myself Sarunan J. Bharati from Carbon Figure Academy. In this video, we will be talking about module number 12, Biophilic Design Strategies. So biophilic design, it's from a green building perspective, refers to the integration of natural elements and processes into the built environment with the aim of increasing and enhancing occupants' connection with the nature. It aims to promote physical, mental, and emotional well being while contributing to sustainability goals. This design philosophy aligns with green building standards like LEED, WELL, and IGBC by improving energy efficiency, air quality, and overall occupant satisfaction. So, how the occupants feels connected with the nature. Nature means the outdoor. So a statistic says majority of our time is being indoor. Either we are at home or office or recreational spaces or inside a vehicle or any building. So indoor time only we are spending mostly of our entire lifetime scenario, we can say. So how we really feel inside, that we are literally connected with the nature that is existing outside of the building, right? So this particular concept and strategies, or this entire module talks about how to establish that connection between the indoor occupants with the outdoor natural scenario. So why biophilic design strategies? So why it is important? Because our body as humans, we are literally connected with respect to the external, that the exterior environment and the entire the nature, and accordingly our body's inside activities like metabolism or our mental regulation or bodily activities are being aligned. So that is being called as circadian rhythm. So it is like across the timeline from day to night, 24 hours, if you take that as a clock, according to that our body will function its own different processes, one after another, one after another. So for example, if we feel that right now is a early morning, because of that feel is being realized by your in body hormones, it will do its dedicated jobs accordingly. So sometimes, for example, you take any supermarkets or big malls and all, if you go inside at a particular time, and you take you spend a lot of time there inside that big malls, which is completely enclosed, you don't have any access to the existing climate or nothing. In outside is big raining or flooding, nothing, right? Because you are being kept as the same throughout the time that you are spending inside that mall. So because of that, your natural organisms, organs inside your body would not able to perform its duties, because it would wait to confirm that you feel okay, this is afternoon 2 o'clock, this is evening 4 o'clock, this is late evening 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, this is night 10 o'clock. So if you can't able to visually feel that the time which is happening outside continuously revolving around, that your body would get affected accordingly. So that is what the concept of circadian rhythm says, right? So why it is so important? As I mentioned, modern humans spend 90% of their lifetime indoors. 90%. So which is very a huge time. So as we see the timeline and evolution of human species, so we were we were spending our all these years, right? Some 1 lakh years or 2 lakh years without any enclosed space only, right? So buildings or these kind of houses, these kind of structures have been available, have been available only for last, what to say, some 500,000, we can say, some 2,000, 3,000 maximum, that's all. But there was some lakhs of years was there in the back, right? As our long past and long story of evolution. So all these years we were without house, or that we were just living one among that natural species or natural elements. So last some thousands of years we have the concept called building. So for past thousands of years only we have been into this kind of space called buildings, and totally our circadian rhythm gets tumbled, right? So just to keep up that nature connection, so we need to ensure the design of our building so that it keeps on, right, connecting the external environment into your body, right? So through some visual aspects or color aspects or whatever it is. So this particular module will talk about that only. So how we can re-establish or continuously making the connection between the occupants inside a building and the external nature, right? So these are the different strategies. The first one is environmental elements, second one is form, then patterns, light and space, place relationship, and evolved human nature relationship, right? So let us see one by one. Environmental elements. So first thing is natural colors. So try to use colors found in nature like forest green, ocean blues, earthy browns, and sky whites. So for example, we have the vehicles, the cars, right? So normally the colors of cars which we see outdoor would be some artificial mixing of things, but recently the natural based colors are getting more attention and getting more demand from the consumers, like that olive green or ocean blue, that kind of things, right? So that's what is being recommended here. So whenever you would like to paint your walls or floor or roofs or whatever it is, including the furnitures, try to prefer the natural colors, right? So that will give you a different kind of refreshing vibes. So example, yes, interiors with soft green walls or furniture in neutral earthy tones to replicate forest environment, right? That's a kind of a suggestion, example suggestion. So what's the impact? Creates a relaxing and stress reducing ambience. So if you just imagine of doing it, you can't able to understand what it really means. So when you really make your indoor walls colored in certain natural compositions, then ultimately when you are being inside that room, you would be able to feel that vibe, right? Then view to the outdoor. Incorporate large windows, glass walls, or skylights to provide uninterrupted views of natural landscapes. It's not about natural landscapes, you just need to see outside. There should be a immediate view. For example, if you are in an office space, there is a design strategy. So in office space, we all will have sit most of the time, and once you are sitting, your eye level will have some height from the floor. So from that height level, when you just turn left or right in some 90 degrees, you should be able to see the outside world through whatever the window possibility or open to sky possibility, whatever it is. So that's kind of one of the important suggestion for designing office spaces. So same way they are suggesting to do it for your residential buildings as well. So here a simple example is being provided. So how not to provide windows back to back walls so that you may not able to see it uninterruptedly, so that you can able to see it so clearly. So these and all are big glass walls, so that complete external thing is being visible, right? Then forms, natural forms. Try to incorporate curvilinear shapes, asymmetry, and forms that mimic elements of nature such as leaves, shells, or waves. And so here there are certain examples how that natural forms have been implemented or incorporated in the building designs. A hotel lobby with furniture in flowing shapes or wall with organic undulating patterns creates familiarity and enhances comfort. So these and all are uh, you can't measure these things, right? So that's the point here. So in previous models we are suggesting certain strategies, and somehow there would be some measurement methodology or instrumentation to measure the impact. Okay, because of choosing this, what is the impact? So we were talking about in the previous module the U value. Okay, concrete wall, this is the U value. If I go for glass wall, this is the U value. If I go to cavity walls, this is the final most possible U value, like that. But with respect to these biophilic design strategies, the impacts are happening within the individual's mind and mental peace, relaxation. Those and all you can't measure. That's the problem here. But still, you should understand and you should not undervalue these phenomena, right? Then biomimictics, designs inspired by nature structures and processes to solve functional challenges. Example: Eastgate Center in Zimbabwe, a shopping complex whose ventilation mimics a termite mound's passive cooling system. Right? So it's a kind of a termite, like in Tamil people used to say Karayam Puttu, right? So it's like a volcano, small earth based volcano, and from the top, if you see, it's going as a whole inside, right? So that kind of design inspired passive cooling system was installed in Zimbabwe. So that's what they are mentioning. Then what's the impact? It increases energy efficiency and performances while connecting design to nature, right? Then patterns. Try to incorporate repetitive patterns seen in nature, such as fractals, spirals, and branching. So here in the right side image, you have been given with a lot of patterns which you can easily see in any visual scenario, right? So example: wall art or carpets with fractal designs reminiscent of tree branches or river networks. So impact: it engages your mind, reduces stress, and enhances cognitive functioning. Can you able to imagine this? The room that you are living continuously has a huge influence on you regarding your cognitive functioning and its potential. If you are in a dark room, you won't, you will be like a dead body, right? So colors matters, and additional some patterns and additional some designs has a great potential to influence you positively as well as negatively. Then growth and effluence based uses design elements that resemble organic growth, like vines, flowers, structures that bloom over time. So that by seeing those things inside your building on a regular basis will keep you, pumped up and will keep you as, positive note. So a facade covered with vertical gardens or a trellis with creeping plants, so will give you some positive good. So it's all about providing you positive vibes mentally, so that you can be healthy as one perspective, you can be productive as the other perspective, right? Then proportions and anthropometry. So employees try to employs human centered design based on natural proportions such as golden ratio, and considers human physical dimensions, right? So it is like ergonomics in other terms people used to say. So furniture designed with ergonomic proportions that align with the human body. So normally the mouse we use will have a typical shape, but if you Google ergonomic mouse, or ergonomically shaped mouse, it would be of different shapes, which are completely available on Amazon and Flipkart, where the design of that mouse will will make you feel comfortable while using or putting hands over on them, right, over them, right. What's the impact? Enhances comfort and usability, promoting well-being, right. Then light and space. Try to introduce soft dispersed light using screens, levers and translucent materials. What's the example? Skylights, that is open to sky, but still not completely open to sky, but frosted glass or fabric curtains or some structured patterns. In the right side at the top picture, you can able to see it is actually open to sky, but not completely open. So they are being restricted with some kind of a designs in the roof. So this kind of dispersed light is good, right, better. That's what they are trying to say. What's the impact? Reduces glare and enhances the comfort. So you just imagine, now this entire top portion is not without this kind of designs and completely open. What it would be, how it would be? It's complete sun, more heat and more glare. So you don't feel good being around that particular space. You would avoid being there. But now, after making it dispersed or scattered by incorporation of your design, now it feels better, right. Then patterns forms through light. So try to develop forms and patterns with the help of lighting system. So in the right side, again the second middle of the portion, two different lighting patterns are there. The glazing is actually provided with some drawings. It's not some new thing. It is from old practice, especially in some western regions. We could able to see these kind of paintings on the glasses, especially in church buildings and some what to say that historically backdated building structures, right. So those and all are good. That's what they are trying to say. Try to avoid plain glazing. So it is like dual purpose. Instead of simply going for black tinted glass, you try to come up with some some painted glass, so that you see some feel good images. At the same time, it resists the heat ingress as well, right. So example, perforated metal screen casting dappled light mimicking the tree canopy. So this is what they are telling. It looks like a tree canopy, right. So adds visual interest and replicates outdoor experiences. So it's like trying to keep you calm. Okay, you are not indoor, you are outdoor, in that way. Then natural ventilation, it integrates passive cooling strategies like cross ventilation and open plants. Obviously, a building with operable windows and vents for airflow. Again, the natural ventilation itself making you calm. That's what the point here is, right? Because the envelope indoor environment comfort and all we already saw in the previous module. So this module talks the same strategy of ventilation, natural ventilation, but the objective is something different, right? So if you are completely close all your windows openings and completely switch on your air conditioner or fans, over the time you would feel headache, right? Because you need the flow of air, right? So that's what they are telling. Try to incorporate natural ventilation. Then place and relationship. So vernacular architecture. So that's the ultimate concept, which means depending on your regional climate and depending on your regional lifestyle and accordingly trying to design your buildings, not thinking about what's the modern tools, what's the modern trend and all. So now in 2025 in India, you take any random city, you see only skyscrapers, you see only concrete buildings, all are same. Shapes, colors only changes. Apart from that, there is no new thing, right? There is a place called Dakshan Chitra in Chennai. I don't know how many of you have visited that place, and I am not sure whether the same kind of place are also available in some other cities in India. But I have witnessed that in Chennai. There, I went one time, and only one time I went. The highlight feature of that place is they recreated different housing structures which are being practiced in South India, like Tamil Nadu, Karnataka. What is the typical housing design they used to follow? They have a literally a whole building which is constructed based on that Karnataka, lifestyle some long ago. Same way Andhra Pradesh, same way Kerala, same way Tamil Nadu. Since it is being in Tamil Nadu, I don't know why. In Tamil Nadu, there were different kind of building, that architecture in different districts. So you could able to see the Karaikudi, you could able to see how the coastal areas would use to construct a house. In case of Kanjipuram, where the people would most of the times do for silk weaving, as their life, as their work profession. So I was wondering like how they just rebuilt or built different architecture kind of buildings in a single place. Then I was searching about that place in Wikipedia. Then I was surprised to see the fact all those buildings are actually dismantled from original location and transported and reassembled in that particular Dakshan Chitra. So it is not a model I'm talking about. I'm not talking about a model. I'm talking about a real building. You can go in, take around everywhere. Some Kerala houses and all are some 2 stories building. So I was wondering how it was possible, but still that entire project was to keep up the the old architecture which was vernacular by nature. So based on the location, the roof type, the window opening, window placement level from the floor, so everything will differ. So they are all contributing to the matching up with the outdoor environment so that you can keep on inside the building comfortably, right? But unfortunately we are losing our vernacular aspects, but we have to overcome these kind of things when the new generation people comes up, becoming old in their life and building their own house. So they should recreate or they should try to keep up what is their regional practice of constructing a typical building, right? Or else over some next 50 years or 100 years, no such evidence will exist, and everywhere we can able to see only concrete buildings, right? So that's what the vernacular architecture talks about. Incorporates traditional building methods, materials and practices that suits to the location, that local climate and culture, right? Example, use of mud, bamboo or thatch roofs in rural homes to respond to climate and cultural heritage, right? What's the impact? Promote sustainability in case of material choice by utilizing local renewable materials and aligns with regional identity, right? Then connection with local culture through design. Try to incorporate the identification of or replication of your local culture into your building design. So embeds elements of local art, history or traditions into building designs, fostering a deeper cultural connection, right? An example, a public space designed with patterns inspired by regional crafts or murals reflecting local folklore. So normally in terms of government recreational projects, they would choose this basically. Okay, what is the best of this place? Try to portray that in the form of art, or in the form of a banner, or in the form of lighting, right? Or some providing some miniature. So that kind of thing. For typical simple example is international airports across the world you can visit, and uh, they would have a pavilion where the particular location, the local based heritage would be showcased, right? So whether it is in the form of a dance form or art form, or whatever it is which is popular, historically popular in that place, will be there in their international airports. That's what they are telling. Try to incorporate with each and every one of your building, right? Not only in airport. Then evolved human nature relationship. So we should understand that we have been with the nature all these years, and just only for past thousands of years we are indoor. So we have to understand the value of it, and we have to recreate the same with respect to our ultra modern or futuristic cities as well, right? So in this diagram which is being mentioned, how the nature and human can be living together in case of a city, right? How that can be done. So it is, they are telling some four different elements: naturalism, moralism, humanism, and phenomenology. Like how an individual perceives what exists in front of him. That perseverance, I don't know the different meanings of perseverance, but here it's with respect to the nature and personal connectivity, right? So by keeping this in our mind, we should build our cities of tomorrow, so that we won't lose our continuous connection with the nature. So one such example is this particular line project from Saudi Arabia. Every one of you might have at least once heard about it, which is like a huge project which may complete in our own lifetime, because that much huge is. So it may take at least 20 to 30 years. Uh, Practically, I don't know how much time they mentioned in the project, right? So this particular project aims to bridge and re-establish the gap, or re-establish the connection between human and nature, right? So if you have not yet heard about this project, or if you want to know about what is happening right now with this project, please Google line project Saudi Arabia current update, so you can able to understand what is really happening right now. So they are, as far as I have checked out, they are grading the surface still, and they soon start laying the foundation, I think, right? So this is a good example or how it should be. But it's not like we should misconceptualize that only these much huge projects should focus on this human nature relationship. So if you are simply constructing one small room on the top of your terrace, there also you can think about how I can establish these kind of principles in my that single room, right? That simple it is, right? So that's what we should understand. So in the next video, we will be talking about fresh air ventilation. Thank you.